Hi everyone, I hope everyone is well and blessed. This is going to be, and we on part 3 of Sebastian Rogers, I think. Yesterday I posted a little interlude, which I said I was just giving you an update actually, that I'm going to do a couple more parts. I was going to do a bit of a analysis on a 15-minute interview, but I think it was a bit more that the stepmom, I said the stepmom yesterday in the channeling, which is really weird. The stepfather and the mother, and I think there's something about that stepmother, the word stepmother here, and I don't think the dad is married again. But could it be from the stepdad's side, his first wife? I'm not saying that she's involved, but sometimes they've got clues on people and traits. Because part 2 really did prove that there's an imbalancement in the mother's side, and we definitely saw that Sebastian and the stepdad didn't really get along. Okay. So as I was thinking, okay, today shall I do Sebastian's? I have a book that I make notes on, and I was like, okay, we'll do that. But first, let me just see if I can get an auto-write on Sebastian. And it ended up turning into a bit of a channeling. I actually, towards the end, I think I was getting a bit, I've been there for a while. I had to be somewhere. I missed it because I didn't realize the time. So I was well over an hour, and it just came through. I didn't think I would get only a couple of sentences. Some psychics and channelers do the auto-write and they just do a couple of sentences. But I asked for Sebastian to step forward and actually see what would come through, and if nothing come through, it was fine. I had what I was ready to discuss. But by the time I finished and towards the end, I was sort of getting anxious because I had to be at somewhere else as well. I'd missed one place going for an appointment and I had to go somewhere else, and so I think it was becoming like I was ready to disconnect, but I wanted to keep that channel open to see if anything else came through. And here is what it is actually. So this top part is where I do little notes of anything that comes to me, like impromptu, and then you'll see auto-write, Sebastian, your message. That's all I wrote, and then I got this and 4 more pages. So we're going to go through that. I'm going to also say to you if I got, or when I say to you, I don't mean it like I'm telling. I'm going to explain what I might be seeing and how some words can come through a bit strange and not in the actual meaning that we might take them first off. And so either I'll say I'm going to leave this open for you to interpret, or I might say the way I understood it as he was channeling it to me, and the word or the vision I saw, or what I saw was this, so that it can be understood in the sense that it was channeled to me and not misunderstood. So the word weird came up. If it's a word that could have a meaning that could cause concern and it wasn't meant to be in that way. And other times I might just leave it open where it can be anything. It was a good open session, so I might do another one. The way I did it is like you just saw on the paper, Sebastian, your message, and then I just got the download. I might do a further one, but I didn't want to, I probed with certain words to see what I would get. I'm not in a tricky way. I'm very very open, but I didn't want to put pressure on a soul that didn't want to go into any area that they didn't want to go into. So I didn't necessarily go, where are you? What happened to you? You know what I mean? I was just probing at little things. and really to allow spirit to come through to say what they wanted. I'm going to go through the auto write, and then I think I'm going to get some messages here from Sebastian, see what comes up, okay? And there might be another part that's done on this. I think the part after this is going to be a little bit around some of the analysis, because I know it is becoming a strange case. I understand that there's been a search in the Rockland or Rockfield area, and that at some stage a Belgian dog had sniffed something or signaled to something, and people were cleared out and left, told to leave, but then they went back the next day. I think the next day was people, volunteers searching, and then the Cajun armies, are they now called back to help search? This is healing essence of mine. We've got rose quartz here to heal, help heal a heart, help bring some sort of grounding and peace. It's a high vibration rose quartz. And here I've got my own sort of opal and white quartz. And here we've got amethyst, but these are really, this is a rose candle. It's not a rose quartz, but it's called a rose quartz as I make it, but it's for Sebastian, and this is the healing essence that I have. So I'm gonna go through what I got, okay? Like I said, there might be things that, you know, might click into place. I do remember that when I did the last part, I had some significant numbers, and then the 25th of April, around that date, came up. So that could tie in with a, you know, a breakthrough that they get that they don't necessarily announce. It could be a breakthrough we hear of. It could be a breakthrough in one of the other cases that I seem to be quite focused on, like Maddie, Elijah. I really wish they also find Elijah, that poor baby. And something else I wanted to just explain is that in this energy, if there is a substance, it's alcohol energy. It's not like Elijah was drugs. Summer Wells had drugs and some alcohol. Elijah's and Summer Wells and Elijah's sort of drug energy is very similar. We're talking about, but certain days on Summer Wells, I've not done a reading on her, and last year I started looking into it, and I asked Spirit, should I do a reading on her? And the answer was no. And I think it's because I was also looking into like Maddie McCann, and that was quite heavy. And Summer Wells is very heavy and very mixed. And so the drug energy is very similar, but in Elijah, it's like, and some of this is also in Summer Wells, but Elijah's, if I were to say some of the drugs, it'd be coke and continue the word, and maybe meth, and sort of it got into a demonic energy. And if you see my part on that, you'll see what I meant. And going back to breakthrough of dates, like for example, we recently knew they found the blanket, but actually they found it a few days after he was reported missing. So we find out things a bit later, or we find out things that they want to disclose that cannot harm the case. So, you know, that's what we also need to bear in mind, where I say there might be a breakthrough internally that we don't know of until later, or we might have actually an announcement. So in this case, I would say it's more of an alcohol substance. I'm not saying that that was the cause, but like if there was a substance at home, it's an energy of alcohol. And I'm not saying that this was in addiction or anything, or that it wasn't. I'm just saying that's the energy, just to let you know, because obviously I work with energy. So I'm going to go into what Sebastian said. sometimes you might feel that my voice might break, or I feel a bit sad. It might be that I'm picking up on his energy. Okay, so I've written, Sebastian, your message, and here I've got, I'm there, I'll be found, I cry. That's you feeling sad for me. I went through a lot over time. So this is him telling me, okay, I felt immense pain in my heart, not because of the story, but just, yeah, that he was saying that's the pain. I'm feeling sad, that I cry, that's you feeling sad for me. I went through a lot over time. With that, what I mean is I think he went through a very bumpy ride at home, very up and down. He was not necessarily easy. It was challenging. It's challenging to look after an autistic child. That is, I'm sure a lot of parents say it, and those parents really do need, how can I say this? Like, kudos to those parents. And so I think tension. In this case, there was a lot of tension and stress, like stress if the relationship's coming to an end, stress of, this, sort of caring for an autistic child. And I believe he also had, on the spectrum, was it Asperger's? But I also, like I said in my other chat, I think there was something else there with him. I do feel that. Now, I propped, so the word I said was dad, and he put, I love my dad. I said mum, he said, I love her, she was strict, but I got my dogs. My mum is sad, but she is hard. I am trouble, but what can I do? That's, I don't know if that I've written time or me. What you said about my energy, anger in me, but I was sometimes is right, but I was sometimes bad. I'm autistic, I. And then we go into separate thing. I did not take my flashlight. My dad knows. I love being home. My room was dark. So I love being home. I understood it, that it was basically, during this time, I was also probing in my mind energy towards him, like flashlight, like that. And home was basically, I think he was like a homebody. He liked being at home. He liked doing things at home as opposed to being out. Okay, I think he was just like a homebody. He liked being busy at home, pondering around. Maybe he had a game station or something. He just liked doing things more at home as opposed to being out. My room was dark because I think my mind then went to sort of, can we tap into that night? And he was like, my room is dark. I probbed Rockfield search. He said, let them search. No, police lights and car ones. Now I'm trying to remember what this says. Yeah, I remember I had a vision of like police lights on the roads or something. It was police lights, above a car, the police car that has the red and blue and white. That's what I was seeing. Yeah, the car ones, police lights, the car ones. So that's what suddenly I got a vision. I don't know where I am. I am lost. I don't understand. Lost, question mark. And what I got here, what I was seeing is that I just see him standing and it's all black, but he's floating above the ground, our ground, yet he's not in heaven. And so this is where I think he feels lost. I don't think he understands what happened to him, why it happened. And he's just, I think by finding him and the story solved, it's going to help de-anchor him. And this is one of the reasons I was looking into several cases, and I look into cases because you know, to help de-anchor souls, sometimes their karma, sometimes their truth needs to be let out. And he is just not released from earth. He's not healed. If a psychic is telling you he's doing well, he's healing, I did not get that. I have to share what I got. There was this confusion here. He says these heavy, you know, it's heavy to hear, I don't know where I am lost. And it's because he's in this black, I want to say it's, to give you a vision, it's like a tunnel, but I can't see the walls of the tunnel. I just see black and I see him standing. But he's not on the ground. He's elevated above the ground, yet he's not, I don't see him up in the heavens. And to hear, I don't understand, I'm lost. And I've put here, not earth, it's dark, not grounded. And then I kind of probbed, buried, covered. He said yes. So buried, covered could be anything. He could be wrapped in something. He could be in the areas that I mentioned that are near certain landmarks. He said, I am confused. Why? What happened? I cannot see. It doesn't feel like I can see. It's probably because of the confusion. I can't see like I used, like, he didn't say like I used to, it says like being alive. So basically, you know, when you're alive, you understand you're on the ground and you see like, this is my home, this is my TV, but he doesn't see that. But he doesn't also see that he's in heaven. And that's also what I see. And it says, am I stuck? And that's, you know, that's where I wrote tunnel for me to explain what I'm seeing. But will they find me? And then I think I wrote asking me, yes, and so he said to me, will they find me, asking me, and I said, yes, you will rest in love, feeling abundant in love and warmth. Trust this. Help us find you, Sebastian. He said, I am sad. There's a 2 here or an L. I don't understand. When he says he's sad, it was sadness of confusion of why this happened, what happened. He doesn't understand yet. When we're healed, even though we've gone through a traumatic thing, we see the story, and we see the story from everybody who's been in our lives, but he's not seen that yet. And so he's still kind of, he's not healed. He's not in the, you know, there's layers of where you go to healing. I don't feel he's been taken obviously by the angels, but there's part of his soul that's still here. Now after I said dad and mum here, there's a gap because I did say stepfather, but I was getting a blank. Okay, so I tried again here, stepfather, and then he said, no, my dad. Yes, my dad, he knows. And now from the first reading and the second reading, and now it's proven his dad knows things. I'm not saying his dad was involved. His dad knows things. Whether his dad is already let out of the things he knows, his dad is significant. His dad knows. Again, when I asked stepfather here, it's blank. I don't know if you can see. Stepfather, blank again. Okay, nothing. Stepmom, and I don't know why I wrote stepmom. Okay. And that's where I said to you, I got stepmom, which is weird because he doesn't really have a stepmom. I don't believe Seth is married again I don't believe it because I've not heard it. I could be wrong, okay? But there's this word stepmom here. So I don't know if he meant that the ex of his stepdad. And then he's like, mum knows, of course. So his mum knows, of course. Stepmom, and I tried to connect what could stepmom be. And I was just getting like words told off. So I don't know if in relation to him or something else. Then I prod again for the 3rd time, stepfather. And he just put, he loves mum. He didn't want to talk. Or Sebastian didn't want to talk more. Just, it goes blank. Then I probed, like, I don't know how, whether I probed or my mind went to the dog. I was channeling the dog. The dog, tell the dogs to go forward, move forward. So they all need to move forward. Now, where is forward in that area? It's not in the exact area they're looking. And then it was like, she was right. She knows in time, she was right. I think he's talking about a dog here. And then I probed grandma, because I think we've heard, I mean, I've not seen it, but you guys might have, because you know you're looking into the details more than me possibly. I think it's Seth's mum. He's like, I love Ma, she's freaky. This is where I want to explain things. So with that, what he meant, he didn't mean freaky as in, a weird sex way. Disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. The disclaimer that I have to put up, obviously, law enforcement are there to prove who's guilty. Use your own fact findings and research. What he meant here, do you know when you've got an active grandma? She's not a grandma that just sits and watches telly. She's a grandma that what I understood from that was, do you know, like the dry sense of human sarcasm and just throwing out words that are a bit funny, like how did she come out with that? There's energy behind her personality, basically. Not feisty, because I was thinking, is this word feisty? It wasn't feisty, it's a bit more like sassy. Should probably be vocal type of person, that's what I was getting. And then the word freckles came through, and I don't know why, freckles. And then he said, I want ice cream, and there was a little laugh. I said, are you okay? He said, I'm sad, I don't understand, was it me? And then there was something about stairs. And I thought, okay, do they have stairs in their home? Is he talking about that night? Is he talking about other nights? He was like, they were always dangerous for me. Because I said, like, where? And he was like, just in general, like there was always maybe some anxiety or danger around that. So stairs, he brought up. What was I feeling? You want to ask. What was I feeling? You want to ask. That's him telling me, because I was, and I was like, then he was like, you are right. And I was like, about? He was like, just you are. So then I felt his higher self, which is a healed part of him that he's going to move into, came through. A story will unfold as it should, my higher self, because I am sad, but I will move to my higher self. Healing. I put question mark. He said, yes, but I'm not here. I'm not there. I'm not here. I am stuck in a way, lost between divisions. I put lost between divisions because that's what I felt he was trying to see, and that's what I was seeing from what I've explained. And then he said to me, don't tell them. And I was like, okay. And I was like, can I share on my channel? And he said, yes. I said, how do you feel, people? He put, I love people, and there was a smile. He said, I wanted to be alive and feel free in an open field. Maybe that's where I am going. Sun, open arms, and turning around 2 or 3 times. Now I know they said he didn't like the ground outside and being maybe barefoot or something, but maybe this is where a sense of freedom of his higher self is, you know, this where he's heading, of a healed version. Then he said, where did she go when she was not there? I said, who? He said, his mum. So I don't know if this is nights where she'd go or something. Then I prodded on the stepfather again, and I got, I was a young kid. It doesn't matter to me or them. I think not. And still I will dance. I wish I was now. I think he's saying he wishes he was dancing now, like just free to dance. Then he put, what is this all about? Will I know? Will you tell me? I don't feel the pain you feel in your heart. This is where I felt so much immense pain and heartbreak that I was like, oh my God, this Sebastian feels so much pain in his heart, but he was just telling me he doesn't feel that pain even though he's sad. I don't feel the pain you feel in your heart. It's okay, I'm sad, but the pain is not deep in my heart like you're feeling right now. I feel confused. Maybe I don't understand, that's why. I don't understand. My heart hurts, but I don't understand the pain of my heart if it is there. Will I be okay? I'll be okay, right? And a small smile. Obviously, I reassure him. And then there's a bit of a blank, sad, disconnected feel there. And then it comes back in, and it was like, I was alive one day. One day I'll be back again, just one day. Maybe I was not good enough, but my dad knows. I prod at the stepfather again. Nothing. I don't know if you can see. Blank, blank, blank. Police, question mark, I prod. No. He said no. No as in they know, like K-N-O-W, not N-O, not like yes or no. K-N-O-W, no. And then there's a blank, but they are scattered. They need to focus in again. Focus, not scattered in everything. And what I got by that, they're like tapping into so much that they're scattering everything. This could also be a lot of people are scattering in with things that could be taking them off track as well. He was like, the card is right, Z. Oh, now I know what the twos are. It's Z. He would say my name, and so here I just put Z. So where I've said there's a 2 here where it says, here there was another one and I didn't mention it because I was like, what is this that I keep writing? And then there's a comment. So he would actually say my name. So here he's like, the card was right, Z. And this was this 5 of Cups, you know, where I said about, you know, possibly being left out in cold, wrapped up, wearing black, in a black blanket. There's a bridge. I do believe there's a small bridge, a lake nearby. This was the one. This is what he's saying. The card is right, Z. And that's the card. I had the vision of it, so I knew that is from this deck and that I had pulled it from the last one. So we see this, we also see this person shouting out for help. But I remember, identify, like, you know, this is, and there's the bridge and the sea and there's the earth element. I also felt cold and alone, and I probed, dumped. He said yes, but covered. Did you run away? He said no. So run away does not mean he wasn't lured out. Run away is just he didn't open the door and run away. Okay. Then I probed. So going back to the card is right, 5 of Cups. Where are you? So, you know, this is where I say, you know, about the bridge, the lake. And then he says, I was alive. I feel I was alive. I felt cold. I am alive now. Am I alive now or what? No, I'm not, but I'm stuck. And I put question mark transition. He put, yeah, a little smile. I guess, will the angels get me? I want to cry. I am not there, but I don't want this tunnel. Or this, is it the tunnel or time? Or, you know, the black image I was saying. I propped the flashlights. He said yes. I did not go in the, I did go out in the garden in the tippy toes, but it was cold. I ran back in as I was on my tippy toes. It's not the story though. So I don't know if he's talking about another night or the story or some story that they're saying he just left with the flashlights, or if he lured out, or if it wasn't him that was with the flashlights. That's what I got with the flashlights. I don't know what I asked here. Where are you from? Or that he asked. I don't know what that is. I didn't talk a lot, but I like to. I think he's talking about his life. I didn't talk a lot, but I like to. And, you know, I just smiled and I said, I can tell. And I love it. And he covered his mouth with a little giggle. What is in the suitcase or bag? There was an image of a suitcase and bag came to me. And then it was saying, where are you? Where are we going? And then he said, I said, like, he's explaining this must have been a day, you know, a day, maybe another day, same day. It was like, what is in the suitcase or bag? And he was like, I think he was asking his mom, the image I got. And I wouldn't be surprised if they've got stairs in their house, because the image I got was like, and I don't know if they've moved to that house recently and it was past house, okay? But he does have stairs that he comes down from. I'm not saying from his bedroom, but basically he was like, where are you? Where are we going? And then it was kind of like as if, you know, when your mom tells you to get your bag ready and stuff, we've got to go, we're going to, I don't know, we're going to go swimming, we're going to go to Nana's, whatever it is. And then he said, I need to go to the toilet, and it was to pee. And she said, okay, go. He said, I took my time and then slowly returned. What I could see, do you know when a child takes their time and then they come down and then they're just like taking their ease and they're just sort of like whistling through at their own pace in their own mind, singing or humbling something, or you know what I mean? And so he said, I took my time and slowly returned, smiling, but as I am on my own world, as if I'm in my own world. What is this word? I don't know what I've written here. Then she said, why did you take so long? Annoyed, but she wasn't necessarily angry and furious, but she was annoyed about it. I think he was just saying I was like kind of in my own world, coming words as he came back. So sometimes this is where Spirit says things that they want to say. Okay, and if he was not able to communicate, maybe now he feels he's able to communicate, so he might be wishing to tell stories that connect or other stories that stick with him. He said, I love my mom, where is she? She's weird. You won't know. She's loving, but what happened? Now with weird, what I was getting is that sometimes like it'd be really loving, and then sometimes maybe he'd play up, or maybe she was just annoyed, she was angry, frustrated, triggered, and she wasn't then as loving or as calm, and she was quite agitated and maybe angry, and that's what I was getting in terms of weird. And he probably didn't understand that. He didn't understand she's having a bad day or whatever it is, and a kid shouldn't, but do you understand all that he's caused so much stress from caregiving that day or something. So it was kind of like, she's weird. I think it's the up and down sometimes. You want to know she's loving, but what happened? He's asking what happened. Did she tell? Or still? Where is her senses? Wow. Did she tell or still? Where is her senses? So she knows, and we got that in my reading. Whether she's involved or not, she knows something. She's got, you know, he said, I feel grown saying that. And it was like he's saying it's illusionary. Trust me in what I see. And then there's a word in question mark, see, okay, or I'm not sure what I've written there. The truth is coming out in my case. Can I be free then? The free feeling in the field you see, I'm showing you. I'm so happy in that, but sad, I'm not there. And my what? Sorry guys, but this is what it's like. And my, I think it's life at this end. Why did they end? Why did they end? What was it all about? And then I could see maybe a bump on the right thigh, a bit of black eye swelling. The black eye swelling is not necessarily from a direct punch, but not in a direct trauma to the eye. This is what I'm just writing here. But it's kind of like swelling due to a trauma. So it could be where I said about the head, or, you know, if there's some suffocation. But I also feel like there's fluid that might have come down his eye and a little maybe on his chest or something. My eyes did hurt. My head was said after I prompt head. The jaw, I don't know, is that me? Is that me when I was dying? The pain in his jaw with his head? Or is it your tension? I was getting immense jaw pain connecting to the head, so I don't know. And he was confused. He smiled with a question mark, and he was like, do you? Like, do I know? Then it says wrapped up small, not laid like a spread out body. My dogs, can they be beside me? Alive though, just sitting next to me. Where was Dad? He's home. It's all happening. I know I made you write a lot. It's okay, question mark, talking to me. Tell them Bob's your uncle, and then he chuckles. So I think there's going to be like, this could be like, I don't know if it's a word they used to say. I know we say it in the UK, so I don't know if he's saying it, or there's a breakthrough and it's like, Bob's your uncle, or they used to say it as well, and it's chuckle. And then he chuckles. And then he says to me, you're going to sound crazy saying this on my channel. And that actually made me smile. And then he chuckles again, and he covers his mouth when he chuckles. So I don't know if he does this, but that's what I kept seeing whenever he does a little chuckle. I have a lot to say this to him. I have a lot to say, but I know you need to go. I will not take... Talking to you. I like talking to you. I feel I can just say what I want. No time bound or hiding anything back. Just free to talk. Maybe now here I can talk. Oh, so what he's saying here is, now that he is not on Earth and he has, I think he had limited communication abilities to express, because also earlier where he said you're right about what I saw in his eyes, you know, in one of the readings, I think I said I could see some anger and unexpressed anger and expression in one of his eyes. He said you're right here. I mentioned it earlier when I mentioned his eyes, and he said you're right. So he's basically saying maybe now here I can talk. And maybe I feel freed not to be told not to go on and on. So sometimes maybe he went on and on trying to talk. He said, you are special. He said this to me, right? You are special. Will you help? I know you will. I know you will are. Tell them to search for the truth. It's there. Focus. Focus. Don't go off track. It's a little messy right now, but it's there. It's a messy story, but it's there. And I will let you go. I can tell more. I can talk more. And then he pauses and smiles. What's this say? I said to him, basically, that's how I ended. I wanted to thank him. I told him he's going to be okay. He's just standing between the worlds. And he stood there with a little smile. And, oh God. I don't know if I had a bit of tears, but he you know, he didn't have tears coming down, but then he put a little smile too. And he put, I'll be here. I thanked him, and I basically said that I do want to connect with him again. And he said, I'll be here ready to talk again. So it was a really nice connection at certain times, you know, where there was smiling and stuff. And so, yeah, it was reassuring. I want to tell you that I couldn't see, he was saying he was sad, but it was kind of like I was feeling the pain. I don't want to say more than him, but he was in like confusion, so confused over it that he probably didn't know what to feel. I don't think he understands who or what did. He does to a certain extent, but because that's why I think he goes blank and he's not saying. Like, I know he knows what happened, but at the same time, there's kind of like not absorbed it yet and very confused on exactly what happened. And this is where when you go up to heaven, you actually see everything that's happened. So there's still that trauma kind of thing, which makes me think that he didn't just run away and he's not sat in a home being loved. I think his father's hoping he's alive, but I'm telling you, his father knows something as well. And I think his father has great clues. Maybe he's already said those. Because we won't know everything, not to jeopardize the actual, what do you call it, the case, yeah? Let's see if I can get some messages. I have to let me know what you thought of that. Okay. If nothing comes out, I move on from this deck, okay? Or I ask a different question. So we've got 4 cards. I'm going to take them all, okay? But here we've got, you belong to paradise. Sebastian, you know, I'm asking how are you feeling? And this is our message to him. You belong to paradise. That's his reassurance. Then we've got Ubuntu, compassion for others. Pause in your journey. Sacrifice, what can you let go of? And Hex. Now sometimes Spirit will come through with a message for us. It might, look at this, look at the body. I don't know if you can you see her hand? It's kind of like anchored, holding on to earth, but her body wants to be freed. And I feel like that's similar. He can't be freed. And maybe that's why this image came up. Here we see definitely something with the head, don't we? Can you remember I said about the chest? And here can you remember I said about the eye as well? Like, look at that, there's a drop, and I said about fluid or something. There's some drops. So this might be more of imagery. And hex, be still, allow the enemy to reveal themselves. So in the next part, I was going to actually say, I don't think they're doing justice to themselves, but that's good. Let them continue if what we're talking about are the guilty parties here. Now let's just discuss a couple of these, you know. This one is very straightforward, hex. 1, 2 is what I want to just go into. 3 and 4 is a 7, and we've got 7 here as well. And 2 and 8 is a 10, 1 and 3, and we've got a 6. This one usually comes after a card. I think it's Love in the Darkness, which is interesting. This talks about compassion for others. So if you were known for the compassion and love you give to others, how would your life look? How would you conduct yourself? This is a time to emphasize, like, with love for others. So obviously in this story, and put yourself in their shoes. Interesting. This is where spirits can come through with a higher elevated message. And the girl is obviously piercing her eye with a leaf here, and it opens the window to her soul, where, you know, she then sees, you know, when we get to the heavens, we see the story from other people's sides, the challenges and what people go through. And yet there's a peaceful, reflective energy. There's no pain, only the greater understanding and the greater wisdom. And something here is about knowing other people's struggles and helping them, listening with compassion and patience, can ease the suffering of another person. And it's kind of like putting people's needs before you. Interesting message. I'm going to leave that open for you to place it wherever. It might be something that one of you need to hear for your own life. A pause in your journey. This is where, you know, his journey on earth has probably come to an end. And needing to let go because he belongs to paradise, and he will be able to, once we're able to find him, his body. Because this is about relaxing and enjoying your own blossoming, and obviously it's just basically a sign of upcoming improvement. So there's going to be breakthroughs in the case, and that is going to bring obviously positivity to closing the case and helping Sebastian move forward. This is obviously about being half anchored to earth, needing to let go, but also where we're being kept in the dark, and where he kept saying I'm lost. So him probably feeling his feet kept in the dark. And it's something like, do you feel buried? And so it's really around the imagery I get, I think, with that. And this is right, you know, don't underestimate the impact that maybe some of us looking into it are actually doing, but also don't underestimate, this is my message to Sebastian, your impact you've had on the world, in your presence, in yourself and who you are, and who don't, like, you know, just what love you brought to people's lives, and not that you brought pain and that you were troubling to have around. Don't underestimate that. And so here also, if there's a sense of resistance and feeling frustrated or angry in the face of like this story, don't come to feeling powerless, whether it's us helping or even Sebastian, because the opposite is true here. And I think this is mentioning that there's going to be a breakthrough. I wanted to pull tarot messages as well, but I think I'm going to end this here. And I'll see you in our next one, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed this. Take care of yourselves and stay blessed. And bye for now.